What's up? What's up? It's Kurt85, and I'm back with another video. Today, I'm talking about something very near and dear to my heart. Very near and dear to me heart. So some of you may know that I am a big collector of like physical media, like Blu-rays. I've done like a few. I think I've done 2 Blu-ray videos of my Blu-ray collect. No, I've done 1 Blu-ray video of all my Blu-rays and all my Criterions, and then I've done 2 CD collection videos, which is my favorite form of physical media. CDs are sick, they have better sound quality, but that's getting ahead of myself. But yeah, I'm a big believer in like physical media is the way to go, because what happens if the apocalypse happens? And I'm just kidding, I'm not like that. But, you know, I think having something to hold and like cherish that an artist like made and like is like a physical thing that you can say is like yours is so important, and like feels so vital to like experiencing your favorite art in a lot of ways is like going to the next tier to like get the Blu-ray. And I think it's amazing. I think Blu-rays are special. I think it's so cool that they have like a ton of special features on them a lot of the time, and I really do just like love having like a Blu-ray or like a Blu-ray that I can like hold, and like it's just so cool to like have a collection of media that is like your favorite, and it's like kind of like a list of like what you think is worth having and like worth what you thought was worth buying and cherishing. And I think there's something special about like there's something that's more special about watching a movie on a Blu-ray that's yours instead of just like streaming it. Like being like, okay guys, let's look at the Blu-ray, let's look at all the books, and like, okay, I'm gonna put the disc in and now we're gonna yeah, that feels so cool to do. And not that there's anything wrong with streaming. I'm gonna talk about CDs first though, because CDs on the other hand, again, are such a cool thing to like show your favorite albums. And I don't have like an album rating app, so like you could say Letterboxd is my Blu-rays, but for music, like my favorite music is what I have on my CDs. Like I buy the music that I think is the best, and like obviously there's some gaps because, you know, I can't have everything, but like it's a good little like window into like what I think. And again, the audio quality on CDs is just like, it sounds like you're listening to a whole other song whenever you put it on. It's like the craziest shit ever. It's like the first time that I ever listened to something on a CD was Charlie XCX's Brat. And I put it in because I had bought it, or I'd stolen it from Target. I think I've told this story before. I had stolen it from Target because it was just like, I was just like, I'm gonna take this. Don't sue me, Target. And I was like, well, I have it, I might as well put it in. And I put it in, and like boom, 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 ba-doom, ba-doom. But it was like heavy and the bass was hitting. And it was like an entirely different song. It genuinely was. And I felt like I was hearing like exactly what was intended for the song in the first place, because you know when they're making those songs, they're listening to them on like hella good speakers at like the max quality that it can be. And so like when Spotify like compresses it and makes it into like it's like, it's all right. And I listen to a ton, I use Spotify, I listen to a ton of music on Spotify. I want to change to Apple Music, guys, I swear. But like there's nothing wrong with that, and like if that's how you listen to music, I'm not shaming you for that. And I don't listen to most of my music on CDs, and I think that there is like a give and take with that, and like I'm willing to listen to a little lower quality if it means I can have the entirety of the music library in existence on my phone. That's fine, I'm willing to make that trade-off. But if it's an album that you like love so much and you like cherish and like will go to bat for and will freaking go crazy over, like I don't know. It's so much cooler and so much more, it's very worth it in my opinion to like get the CD and listen to it like in the fullest quality that it can possibly be, and like get a CD player and get some nice headphones it just amps it up a million times, and it's so much cooler. And like, I bet you can say a lot of the same with like records. My brother was a big record collector. He like spent a lot, like way too much money on records, and he has a giant ass record collection. And I think a big reason was A, because he loved to collect it, and B, because I'm doing a lot of lists lately. Because it sounds good, and it sounds a lot better on like a physical media, and that's like very important. And you can like buy the files from them a lot of the times, but again, there is just, and then like, and buying the files, that's great actually. I think that's great, and that like solves a lot of it. But I just love having like a CD that is something that I can hold and like has a little booklet and feels like the artist like, or like someone, or like the artist at least looked at this and was like, that matches the vibe of the album. And I think that is pretty cool. And something that really pisses me off, is how badly the world wants to get rid of physical this little mohawk I've got going. I've been messing with my hair a lot. I just shampooed it the other day, and it's just like not falling good. And I'm gonna get a haircut soon. You're gonna say bye to the blonde soon. But I was, what was I talking about? Yeah, the real world does not want you to have physical media. It is trying to kill it every single day, okay? And it pisses me off, and I don't understand why. Like, I guess it's for money. It's for money, and that's the reason why, and it's so annoying. Recently, I got a new car, long story, but there was a new car, and I didn't really, like, want it that bad because my older car had a CD player with some really nice, like a built-in CD player with some really nice speakers in it. And I was loving it. I would listen to my CDs like every single time. Like my Spotify Wrapped this year, it's gonna be like 20,000 minutes because I was only listening to CDs for so long. Because it just sounded so good, and I would just blast like my Jane Remover CD, and it would be like 10 times more epic, and it was just the best thing. Like driving around at like 1 a.m. blasting Jane Remover with all the windows down with a CD, and it's like hitting you full front, is like some of the greatest shit you can experience, in my opinion, if you like that type of music. Or you could blast your Taylor Swift CD, or you could blast your Kendrick Lamar CD, I have one of those, or you could blast your Tyler the Creator CD, I have one of those. That's why I have a Chromacopia shirt, because you couldn't buy the CD by itself. You had to get a box set, and so I got the cheapest one so I could get the CD. And then the CD was in like a shitty like paper case, whatever. But I switched cars, and I was like, okay, that's fine. Does it have a CD player? It didn't. So I was like, okay, we got to figure out a way to solve this. There has to be a way. It's like, it just felt so like. It just felt so crazy to me that that there would just be a world where you just like can't do that, where I can't install a CD player into my car. What type of fuck can I talk? What type of world are we living in if I can't do that? So I started doing some research. I started doing more research, and I started getting a little concerned at the amount of responses that were like, no, it's not going to be possible. And I was like, well, that can't be right. That can't be right. That can't be right. So I went to my local audio store, and I dropped off my car, and I said, hey, is there any way that I could install a CD player into my car? And this guy at the front, he was not helpful. He was very grumpy, and so that did not add to my experience. But he said, what type of car do you have? And I said, it's a 2024 Toyota Corolla. And he said, what model? And I said, I don't know. And he said, okay, I'm just going to come look at it. And I said, do it, bitch. I didn't say that. I did not say that. And I shouldn't have been saying like that right now. I'm sorry. But he comes out to my car, and he opens the door, and he goes, yep, not possible. And I said, what do you mean? And he said, it's not possible, that car. They do not want you to put a CD player in that car. And I said, what am I going to do with all my CDs? And he said, they do not want you to have physical media. He said that. And I was like, damn, they really don't? And I turned a new leaf with him, because he was like, I know, it's like terrible. It's like so terrible. And I can't believe it. I can't believe it. I'm so sorry for your CD loss. CD's nuts. And then I was like, okay, fuck you, and I left. And so I was like, well, there has to be a way. I didn't believe him. I was like, there has to be a way I can play CDs in here. And so I went to Reddit. And I asked a question on Reddit, okay? I didn't just look on Reddit. I typed out a question, and I said, hey, can anybody help me with this? And bro, I'm gonna go off on a side tangent, but this was the most unhelpful shit I've ever done. Because the first response I got, I was like, someone responded. It was within like 15 minutes. And they were like, it's gonna be pretty hard to do that. And this is coming from someone with like at-home speaker system with double TG flip-fuck subwoofers. So the car is not really the best place to experience the finer things. It was the most Redditor response I've ever gotten. And I responded and I was like, I said, did you read the question? Also, I don't know what you're talking about. Listening to a CD on a long road trip is one of the best places to experience the intricacies of an album, which I agree with. And I think he was talking some bullshit out of his fucking ass to sound cool. And he didn't respond after that. But let me tell you, I got about 10 responses and 0 of them helped me. And me and my dad started doing research together. He joined in on this, okay? He was like, all right, let's get this worked out. Okay, let's get this worked out. And so he started doing some research, and he was like, okay, I think you can plug in this CD player into your car. And I said, okay, I'll get it. And we ordered it, and it came, and it didn't work. And then we ordered another one, and it came, and it worked. And it finally worked. I finally was able to play a CD in my car, and the fact that I had to do that much digging and that much research just to play a CD in my car was insane, because I had to look for ones that were car adaptable and had the right plug-in and was gonna, look, it doesn't sound that hard, but it was, okay? It was so annoying. And I plugged in the CD player and I played it, and it did not sound as good. But it still sounded good. It did sound better. It didn't sound as good. But that was upsetting to me, and I do miss my old car every day still. But yeah, that's like how I feel about physical media. I think that story kind of sums up like what the modern world is trying to do about physical media, and it's pissing me off, because the only reason that they would be doing that is to, like, I don't know if Spotify and Apple Music have an in with Toyota, but like, or the car companies. But I think it's just like trying to drive everything to online, and it's so annoying. And like, my new car is so much cheaply made than my old car. There's so many less buttons, and there's just a giant iPad in the middle. And you know how much more expensive and intricate and impressive it is to have a car that has an entire like layout and is very easily changeable, and like you can add a screen to it if you want, or like to have a CD player built in and also have Bluetooth built into the car. Like, how does my old car from 2009 have a more advanced speaker system than my 2024 car? And it's just because they're trying to like compress things and make everything more digital. And it's like, bro, I mean, I know media is digital, but like, you know what I mean? It's crazy. It pisses me off, and it makes me sad, because it's like, why do I have to go through so many hoops and barriers to freaking like play a CD, you know, in my new car? Like, I don't know. It's just annoying. And also, I feel like just physical media is dying. Like, more people need to be collecting this shit, okay? It's so fun to collect things. And yeah, I just think it's a travesty on par with 9/11, what is going on with physical media. But yeah, that's kind of like that's kind of my rant about like physical media in the modern day. And look at my trunk. But yeah, that's it for me. That's my little rant, and I appreciate you for watching so much. You're amazing. You're so cool. You're so awesome and hot and sexy, and I love you. Character 85 out.